Hey guys, welcome back to another movie review. So, Birds of Prey and the, what is it, fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Is that right? I think I got it right. But anyway, Birds of Prey is the newest DC movie. It takes place in the same universe as, all those DCEU, or I guess at this point, Worlds of DC, whatever they decided to call it. The DC movie universe, right? That same universe, but the movie itself, it feels very different. And that is the thing that I want to focus on right now. Like, the first thing that I noticed about this movie, just how indie, like independent it feels. Like the movie, it doesn't feel like a studio movie. It feels like a very unique sort of vision, right, from an indie director. And it just happens to be about, Harley Quinn and all these superheroes. Just everything, man, like from the way that the movie is structured and, just how it looks. It feels like an indie movie. And the storyline itself is not like, oh, the world is gonna end. It's just, some mobster, like some gangster dude, with the name of Roman Sionis, aka Black Mask. He wants to get this diamond, and Harley Quinn, trying to get this diamond for him, or otherwise he's gonna kill her. So that's the movie. It's nothing huge, or it's not Avengers level threat. And I think that's probably my favorite aspect of the movie. It's a very personal movie about someone who's going through a very difficult time, breaking up with her boyfriend and whatnot, and losing that immunity that he gave her, and now all these people that she, I guess, troll, is after her, all these gangsters, all these mob, all these mafia dudes, like they're all after her, trying to kill Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is probably one of the best things to happen to the DCEU. Like, she is just, listen, like, I don't think the writings for her was the best in Suicide Squad, but her acting and the makeup, the costume, and just her persona, right? It's just it's so good. Like, she is, in my eyes, I can't see anyone else playing this version of Harley Quinn in live action. She's just so good. Like, she's funny, and like you can tell, she is not a very normal person. Let's just call it that. She's not very okay in their head. She's psychotic, right? She's hurting people, killing people, and all that. But when it's time to be a little bit more emotional, when the movie is asking her to be, a bit heartfelt at times, she absolutely delivers. And man, this performance, I really, really enjoy it. Which kind of leads me to think that, why didn't they call this movie Harley Quinn? Like, this is a Harley Quinn movie more than a Birds of Prey movie. Like, honestly, like, think about all the monies that they gonna make calling this movie Harley Quinn. Well, first of all, I think it's gonna be more accurate, because again, this is a Harley Quinn movie. And second of all, I think I would argue that this movie would have made so much more money and would be so much more successful if they just call it Harley Quinn. People saw Suicide Squad. Not everyone liked that movie, but they like Harley Quinn. Look at Halloween. All those people dressing up as Harley Quinn. Look at Comic-Con, right? So people love this version of Harley Quinn. So just call it Harley Quinn. Just call the movie Harley Quinn. Now, I'm not saying that this movie is gonna bomb. I don't think it's gonna bomb. It's gonna make its money back. It's not gonna be fucking Avengers Endgame numbers, but it's gonna be successful. It's not gonna flop. It's gonna be fine. But imagine if they just call this movie, I don't know, Harley Quinn's and Friends, or like Harley Quinn something, right? Because, like, I mean, you got all these characters. You got a bunch of characters, like Cassandra Cain, right? You got Black Canary, you got Huntress, and you got Renee Montoya. None of these characters are fully fleshed out. Like, they all got their cool backstories, and they all got their introduction and whatnot, but none of them reached that potential, Like, everyone kind of have that snippet of moments where the idea was right, the concept was right, and I could see the potential for a really, really cool character. But none of them got the time to develop their characters. I mean, like, the most, flesh out of all these side characters, probably Black Canary. I thought she was cool. Again, like, none of these characters are, poorly acted or poorly, portrayed. But just the writing for them was kind of weak. Like, the little kid, Cassandra Cain. I don't know why she's in the movie, honestly. Like, I don't know why, like, what is her purpose in the movie. Like, she doesn't do anything, she's going around, pickpocket, stealing stuff. And they tried their best to fit her in this story, this Harley Quinn story, but I feel like there's a better way, more interesting way to tell this story. Like, the little kid, unnecessary, right? Unnecessary. Renee Montoya, there's not much to her, Huntress. Huntress actually got a pretty cool backstory, and I feel like give the movie 15, 20 more minutes to explore that story. That would have been really cool. But she got cool action sequences. Like the crossbow. Why not the costume was cool. The motorcycle was cool. But again, the story, right? The story and the characters was very underdeveloped, especially for these side characters, right? It was kind of disappointing because they did such a good job with Harley Quinn, and I love this character, and I love this character in this movie, but the same thing could not be said about the supporting characters. I do love the fight scenes, though. I do love the fight scenes because I'm a sucker for like wide shot when it comes to action sequences. Like, unless you're the Russo brothers, or what's his name, the guy who directed the like 3 out of the 4 Jason Bourne movie. Unless you're those guys, don't do shaky cam. All right. I love the fact that the action scenes in the movie, was shot super, super wide, and you can see what happens, and the stun work was phenomenal. And just everything about the action is so good, from the stun work to the cinematography and to the way it was shot. Oh, I love the action, alright? Like, the actions are exciting, they're badass, brutal, and I love it. I love the action scene. Let's talk a little bit about Black Mask as the villain. I think Ewan McGregor, he definitely had a blast playing this role, how often do you see him as a bad guy, like he's your Obi-Wan, right? He's your Dr. Sleep. But this might be my first time seeing him being a dick, and he was pretty good at being a dick. But again, I would have loved to see a little bit more backstory, like why he is a dick, like why he's doing what he's doing. And in the movie, he was just kind of there to be the bad guy, to be the antagonist. Sure, like the actors, he was good, and I definitely did have some enjoyable moments with this character, but I just don't know why he's doing what he's doing. Right? There's no motivation behind. Oh, I want more wealth, and I want more power, and I want to kill the protagonist. And that's just not, like, that's not compelling writings for your bad guys. And speaking of bad guys who are underdeveloped, Victor Sass, why is he even in the movie? What did he do? Honestly, Victor Sass, like the guy who every time he kill a person, he would cut himself, and you count how many scar he has on his body. That's how many people he's killed. Cool character, like super, super cool villain in the Batman mythos, but he was wasted. How long is this movie? It's 1 hour and 49 minutes. Okay, for a comic book movie, for a DC movie, this is really, really short. I wouldn't mind, 15, 20 more minutes, 25 minutes more, of backstory, character development, right? Just more of these supporting characters. I want to see more of these supporting characters, and not in a, oh, they're so cool, I want to see more of them in the future, but I want to see who are they? Like, who are they? Why are they doing what they're doing? Right? What is their motivation? Like, more story, more story. You put so many characters on the screen, but I only care about one of them. It may sound like I'm hating on the movie. I'm not hating on the movie. I really enjoyed the movie, okay? The movie's beautiful to look at. The action sequences are amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I thought the direction was good. Except for that one scene, I saw in the trailer when, she was in that red costume and, dancing on the stage with, like, people dancing around her. That scene did not work at all in the movie. Also, the storytelling is a bit, it could get a bit complicated and a little bit confusing in the beginning. I thought the first act, you jump back and forward a lot, and to some people that could be very jarring, and I could see why you would hate that choice, because you would go to a certain point, and then Harley Quinn would be like, wait a minute, here's what happened, a couple minutes ago. And then you would, jump back and forth between, different times, a different location, with Harley Quinn delivering exposition in the background. A few moments where, the narration is very excessive and very overused. But all in all, I think this movie is definitely another good addition to the DCEU. I think there are slowly but surely finding their standing, their footstep in the cinematic universe building and whatnot. They're not quite there yet. They're not quite where Marvel is yet. But just keep doing your thing. Just focus on telling these compelling stories. Let filmmakers and artists tell their stories. The studios stop messing up with their vision. That'd be great. Stop doing that. Okay, release the Snyder Cut. The movie is exciting. It's fast paced. Maybe too fast for some people, and certain characters got left in the dust. Not much backstory, and the only character you really care about is Harley Quinn. The action sequences are stunning. The movie looks great, sounds great, very beautifully directed. Could use a little bit more, again, the supporting characters could use a little bit more screen time, and the villain is kind of weak in my opinion, but all in all, I had a really fun time. I went to see this movie with a lot of friends, and we all had a fun time. I'm gonna give Birds of Prey a 7 out of 10. Hey guys, if you enjoyed my review, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more reviews like this. With that being said, I'll see you soon.